Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Thank you for being here today. I am so excited that you guys are taking a little bit of time off your Friday to hang out with me and learn something new, hang out, create something together. Hello, everybody on the chat. Spam your name and where you're coming from. I would like to hear what everybody's up to. Don't worry, I'm lowering the music. Just a little bit. I'm on party mode right now. It's Friday. I'm excited. We are here. I'm excited. We're hanging out. And today we'll learn 3 different techniques that are really cool to make just your posters taken from, a normal level to an excellent level or like super exciting, level. Things that you can do to impress your friends, your co-workers, the people that you hang out with. You can just show them what you did and see, look, I made this easy. I'm that awesome. I'm that cool. So that's something that you want to learn. If you want to learn that today, we're going to do that. Hello, Kara on the chat. Hello, Cody. Josie, what's up? Marsha, what's up? Good to see you. I'm getting Rakesh on YouTube saying no. I don't know what that means, Rakesh, but I'm happy you're here. Happy you're hanging out with us. Let's level up today, Marsha. I know I'm hyping this up way too much, but this is a cool thing. We're gonna learn 3 things that are pretty easy to make, but also like make the quality of the posters amazing, and are probably things that you guys already know how to do. But I feel like the perspective that we're gonna be taking a look at today is almost like how to take that and kind of like apply a little bit of a finish to it and make it exciting, right? So I'm super excited. Hey, what's up? I see people from my Instagram that are joining me. What's up, Josh? Man, I'm so happy. I don't know how to say your name. Alabi, I know how to say your last name, but I don't know how to say your name. But welcome, thank you for coming from my Instagram. So I told everybody on my Instagram today, hey, you need to go to my live and show some support over there. And I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'm happy that all of you guys are here. Joshua from Puerto Rico, what's up, Joshua? Annie, thank you for being here. I really appreciate all of you guys joining me. So today I've had a chill day. Went to my office, talked to my business partner, looked at some numbers and things, and now I'm here doing the stream. So I'm just running, just had some food, and I have my water here. So if you see me drinking water, give me a break, okay? I'm super excited. I want to start with the Discord, and thank you for showing that on the chat, Cody. We're going to be taking a look at our Discord, because normally every week, for those who are joining us for the first time, we do this show every week, and we do a poster, do something entertaining, do something cool, and then I challenge you guys to make something within the week that could be cool, exciting. And I want to see what you guys create. I want to see what the community creates. I feel like that's the best way for all of us to grow, is for the community to be taking steps and kind of exploring more how to do things. So I'm excited that you guys are here, and I'm excited that you guys are joining the Discord and doing that. So let me switch my screen right here and put you guys on the Discord. The Discord link is right now on the chat, so join that if you haven't joined. And then when you go inside of Discord, here on the spot is our channel where we do this show. So go ahead and join that. Go to that channel and spam some stuff in there. Share your work. We have amazing people sharing work every week. Gio, I don't know if you're here today, but I love to see you. What's up, Coach? Good to see you on the chat, man. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Victor, what's up? Good to see you. Okay, so Gio submitted work. We got Frank always submitting the stuff. This is the work that we did last week. So last week is a very interesting week, because we took time to look at people's work, and then we took time to kind of explain how to do something like this really quickly. And this is what we ended up doing, because we're testing how to do some effects in tandem with Firefly, and that's what we did, so just doing a little bit of that is always good. And then I asked you guys to submit things, right? So we have a friend here that his name is Fluff here and Discord, and he's always Fluffy. He's always posting amazing work. He did, I think last week, he did another one. It's here somewhere. He submitted this one right here. That was really cool. And it's because we based it all on the Tenebrism stream that we did, which, you know, was a lot to handle. I had to make a poster inspired by Tenebrism. It was this one. It was pretty dark. But it was fun. And then next week, we're gonna spin the wheel again. So this is a wheel style, so spin it, whatever lands on, we work with that. So if you want to join me struggling next week doing that, you know what to do. Okay, but my friend here, Fluffy, always submits amazing work. This is what he submitted, and I just love this, man. I think it's amazing. This is part of like something that we're talking about last week. When you are creating work, you have to make sure that the work looks across the board, looks good, looks like the same intent is happening, right? You don't want the face to have an effect and then the background to have a different effect. Although we're new on these, some of you guys are new, it's good to always keep in mind that you need your whole composition to kind of have the same feel, right? So he's doing that really well here. The hat has this crunchy effect. The face has this kind of like paper texture effect. And then he, I think with the pen tool, drew some letters that are amazing. And I love how they go with the face. So this is a really, really good design. Congratulations, Fluffy. I love this. Very nice. If there is anything that I can add to it, I always like adding feedback just for the sake of making things better, not because of anything else. I love this design. I'll leave it as is. But if you want to improve anything, like just a little bit, 1%, is that, you see some here sometimes like there's irregularities with the text, and that is normal because you're probably doing the pen tool, or like I don't know how you did this, probably in Photoshop freehanded. But if you want to improve that a little bit inside of Illustrator right now, you can inside of whatever shape you do, left click that and go to smooth, and it smooths it for you, right? So you can do that, and that's a quick fix that you can do, and it takes no time. I'm seeing Arif on the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you, Arif. I saw that you got featured on the Adobe Live Instagram. Congratulations on that. That was really good. Guys, make sure you're following the Adobe Live Instagram. There's always great content, and then they're doing a lot of community stuff. So if you want to get featured in there, I'm sure that you can do that. Okay, so we'll move on to the next submission here that we have for this week, and it's coming from Frank. And we have this cool creation. So last week what we did a little bit of is that we were grabbing an image, putting it inside a Firefly, creating something, generating something with Firefly, and then merging those two images. So that's what he did here. And then he created it, he merged it into this, added with the pen tool or whichever other tool he used. He did like a hoodie over here on this. This is really cool, man. Congratulations on a great design again every week. You're putting out amazing work, Frank. And I don't know if you're in the chat, but this looks great, amazing work. And like the sometimes the quality of the AI doesn't quite match the quality of, like, for example, what you're making here, and especially in this part right here. So the only improvement that I can give you on this is really not on you, is maybe using a different model of the AI for a little bit higher quality, or like putting the image through what we looked at last week, which was the Magnific AI tool that can improve it. Or another thing that you can do is inside of Photoshop, apply an effect to it, like I would say like a not a liquify, but like a paint effect. Could be really cool, and sometimes it smooths some of those things out, right? But yeah, thank you for submitting this. I really love it. And then we have Arif. I see you, Arif, in the chat. Another submission here, like kind of blending a little bit of like the scales that we did last week with the photography and doing some bubbles around. I see you're doing a lot of different things here, and playing with it. And you kind of put up this photo here of like the process that you took to do this. Great job on this, man. I know it's hard sometimes to merge so many images together. You say you're muted here, and I don't think you are. I don't know why it wouldn't let you add an image before, but maybe that happened to a few more people because we haven't had a lot of submissions this week. So if you're out there, you have a submission, make sure you have it for next week. I would love to see it, or you can just submit it right now if you have something. Okay, cool. This is cool. Great job, Arif, on this, kind of merging the two images together. And then finally, we have this here from, I still haven't answered this question about Discord. I do not know what it means when somebody has just their name with P, and I guess it's like a longer name. That person is private. But P, I love your design. Thank you for submitting this. I think this background with this distortion stuff is interesting. I see that you're probably beginning to learn how to work the softwares and kind of using the tools. I would say to work on the fundamentals, which is being able to cut the image cleanly and focus a lot on that. But good job on following the tasks that we did last week using Firefly, merging it with an image. It was cool that you got this done and submitted. So thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. And let's jump into today's challenge / hangout, what we're gonna do. And I want to teach you guys three techniques that can help you bring your posters to the next level. Like I was saying before, the first one is pixel sorting, and is this effect right here. So maybe you guys have seen this around, you don't know how it's done, or maybe you do know how it's done, but I want to show you how I would get it done. So I'm here on Pinterest, and I'm just showing you guys a couple examples of what the effect looks like, so you can kind of have an idea of what we're going to be looking at today. So this is the first effect that we're going to be breaking down today, pixel sorting, and that can bring your image to the next level, honestly, if you know how to mask it correctly. So if you're excited for this one, drop me a thumbs up. I have a couple images that we can edit with this style. And also, if you knew this effect already and how to do it, let me know. Yeah, I know how to do this effect, or maybe not, I have no clue, because there's a few ways that you can make this effect. Effect number 2 is going to be the motion blur effect. Obviously, like I said, all of these effects you probably know how to do, but I'm going to teach you how to kind of combine it with a few other things to make it next level. And it's essentially this kind of effect of movement, high fashion. Could be like a way to it's used in high fashion a lot. It's used in sports photography. It's become wildly popular lately. I don't want to take a lot of credit for it, but I did a video and it had 8 million views, and then I saw everybody on the internet making videos about it on how to create this effect. And it's kind of what I'm breaking down today. I'm going to next level this tutorial. This is only a minute long, and kind of break down how to work on an effect like this, how to make it successful, what makes it work, what doesn't make it work, and hopefully we can learn something together. So if you are pumped for this one, drop thumbs up as well. Also, if you have any questions throughout the process, also drop some questions in there. That would be really helpful. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Victor, for all the comments. I appreciate it. Okay, so and the third effect is the liquefied effect. I know this effect is so old. It's one of the oldest effects on Photoshop, and it's probably an effect that I used to do a lot when I was a kid and I was learning how to do stuff in Photoshop. I was opening the liquefied tool and playing with it, but I'm gonna show you a cool way to mess with it nowadays that could improve what you're doing and make it kind of cool. So thank you for all the thumbs up in the chat. I love that. I love that you guys are excited to learn some of these. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into the first one, which is the pixel sorting. So we're going to be going into Photoshop, obviously, and we're going to be making sure that our canvas, normally what I do is that I make it, I think it's 34, right? That's the Instagram size, or 4.5. 4.5 is 3.4 and 4.5? No, 4.5 and 2.3. I always get confused with the different resolution changes. Bree, there you are. I was wondering where you were. I was like, Bree's not here today. I was looking at one of your posters on Discord. I'm excited you made it, and I'm excited you're in the chat. Good to see you. Good morning. So we're going to be taking a look at the first technique, which is pixel sorting within Photoshop. There's a way to make pixel sorting through code, and that's probably the first way that people started using pixel sorting, but then it's become a popular style, and it's easy to make it in Photoshop, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. First of all, let's use this image right here. You've probably seen a famous image with pixel sorting that is including the pixel sorting here. This is a technique that I did a lot in the year 2017 or so when I was starting to do my poster series online. The first thing that we want to do is that we want to extend the background here. So I'm going to select this, invert it, and then generate fill, and then click generate. When you leave the prompt empty, what it does is that it generates whatever it thinks could go well with the image. So hopefully we get a good generation here, and it works out. But we just want to expand the image. That's quickly. Look at that. I can't. Sometimes AI does really good. Sometimes it does really bad. But when it does good, I get excited. But it also disappoints me a little bit. I feel a little bit hopeful. I don't know if this is true for you guys too. Where I'm like, I love that this is this easy, but at the same time, I've worked so hard for so many years to hone my skills that, now using AI and doing my skills, it's amazing that I can do both, but at the same time, it feels a little bit like, why do I even want to do this? But I think, overall that with the tools that we're getting now and the future, how good they're going to get is going to work out amazing for us creators to be able to make our work faster. That's the way I've been feeling lately. What do you guys think about it? I know there's a lot of tension about the AI art conversation, but what do you guys think? I don't know. Sometimes I feel great about it. Sometimes I feel oh, why would I even make art if somebody can type something and make the same thing I'm making that is costing me hours? But sometimes I feel great because I can create an amazing images that I want, that I have in my mind in seconds and perfect it in Photoshop. And I think that's a sweet spot. Okay, I'm talking too much. Let's get started. You're gonna grab your image right here. The first thing that you want to do is that you want to duplicate that image, and then you want to remove background. And then keep in mind that we are keeping the image and the background the same, right? So it should look like this. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to break this, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just make it a flat layer so it doesn't have a mask in it, because we're going to exceed that mask. Maybe down, maybe up, we'll see. And then the effect that we're going to be doing today is you go right here to filter, and then you're going to go to stylize, and then we're gonna click on wind. Yeah, I know it's not called pixel sorting, it's called wind. And then you can see here a little bit, I don't know if this window is too small, but you can see kind of how the effect is looking. And there's different ways to do it, right? There's the stagger, there's the blast, there's the wind. And all of those give a little bit of different results, and then you can go left to right or right to left. That is a little problem that we cannot go vertical. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna cancel, and then we're gonna rotate our canvas. So because I want it to run inside of this right here going down. So let's go ahead and go here, rotate. Let's rotate it like this, because I'm doing it to the left and it's going to drag all of these. I'm also going to duplicate this because we might do a couple different of the same effect in one. And then let's go again, stylize, wind, and then let's do, I think we're gonna do stagger first, and we're gonna click OK. It doesn't help if our canvas is really big. I normally work really big, like I've shown you guys before. You can start seeing some of the results already there. The way it's kind of melting, and it looks really cool. So that is already looking kind of cool, right? I'm going to go back once real quick, and I'm going to make my image size a little bit smaller so this runs a little bit faster, guys, and we're not sitting here forever. Okay, let's do that, and then I'm going to go and then do the same thing, right? Let's do the wind effect, and let's see what happens. Looking kind of cool. That's looking kind of cool. I like it. I'm going to duplicate that one, and the reason why I'm duplicating is that I want to conserve this stage, for some of the details. So I'm gonna click again and I'm gonna run it again. So I'm gonna go filter wind again, and it's going to apply again. And you can see how it's kind of like breaking it down a little bit. Am I missing something in the chat? Hello everybody. Welcome Jeff, good to see you. Vladimir, what's up? Good to have you here. I've never seen your name in the chat. Welcome. I'm happy you're here today. Okay, cool. This one, and then I'm gonna go again, and let's go to filter again. Let's go to stylize, and let's go to wind. And let's try, hesitate to try blast, but let's try it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, nope, not what we wanted. Let's go back again to, we're gonna go to wind again. And let's go to the stagger, right? It's the one that we've been using. And let's apply it again and see what happens. Okay, now that we kind of like it, let's just keep applying it multiple times. You can do this with Command-Shift-F. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know why. Like the shift on my computer, it's like a strange thing. Like sometimes it works the way it's supposed to, sometimes it doesn't work. All right, so what I'm doing here is that I'm repeating this effect multiple times. In this case, my Command-Shift-F is not working. So I'm going to just keep pressing this button forever. Perfect. Okay, look at that. So it's creating this kind of melted looking thing, and it looks really cool. But we want to mask it a little bit so that it's inside, because some of these other generations that we did I really like. So this is what we want to do. We want to create a mask on this, and maybe now that we're done with the effect, we can maybe just rotate the image back to how it was before. There it is. So now that it's looking like that, it's easy to just kind of mask some of it. So normally when I'm masking things, just so you guys know, I create a mask and then invert it to black. So that way I don't have anything in it and I can go from scratch in it, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing here, 0, and then I have the smallest layer here that we can do. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Let's create a mask, invert it. And then I want to create a selection only in the part over here of the face that has all the breaking happening. Hopefully Photoshop helps me and does it with me. It helped me somewhat, not too much. It doesn't matter. We can just select it, go to the brush. I'm selecting white for the brush, and then I'm making it smaller. If you're wondering how I do this, I press Option and Command at the same time while clicking and dragging my mouse to make it bigger to the right and left, and up and down, it just makes it stronger. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this right here. I'm new to, welcome. I'm new too. Am I welcome? Of course you're welcome. Welcome to the chat. What's up? I cannot say your name. The Jafar? Jafar. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Frank, welcome, man. I reviewed your poster already, but welcome to the chat. I'm so happy you're here. Yeah, all of you guys are welcome. Jafar, if you don't know this, we have a Discord community. It's up there in the chat. If you go a little bit further up, click on it, join us on the chat, go to the On the Spot channel, and you can post your designs there. We review them every week. So I would love to see your design there. I would love to see your design there too, Vladimir. I don't know if you guys design or not, but if you do, I'm wondering, if you guys are here, you're probably designers. So I want to see what you make, photography, design, whatever it is. We normally go through it in here and hang out and share a little bit of what we create as a community, and it's fun. So right now I'm just masking slowly. You see here I'm working on this very loosely on this mask, clicking on it with a white brush and just going through it, right? Just finding the spots that I want, that I like, and just dragging a little bit, seeing what I like about it. The other way to do this would be to not do a mask and do selections. So let's do that real quick so you guys can see how to do that, right? So it's like we're selecting the face using the selection tool, and it's hopefully selecting somewhat around We want the imperfections on the selection, to be honest, because we want this out of the mask a little bit more. So that's perfect that it selected that, because now I can just paint it white on the mask. And you see I have that kind of dripping effect there. So I'm going to be doing this fast because we got to move on to the next effect. For you guys that are joining us a little bit later, we are doing a few effects today. So we're doing 3 effects that you guys can do that are going to help you level up your design really fast and really easily. This is the first one, pixel sorting. Although it's an old effect, I feel like it could be, you know, something that comes back into trend this year with more creative approach, you know. Okay, let's go to the more extreme, which was it this one or this one? Yeah, it's probably this one. Let me see. Yeah, this one's a little bit more extreme, and then this one was the craziest one. So for the craziest one, what we want to do is that we want to, for sure, mask that one on top of everything, and kind of mask it a little bit more like in some of the areas, right? If you guys can take the time to actually select squares, you know, and do the selection in squares, so you don't get this kind of like ugly, like circle looking thing on the selection, but you get more of a natural, like going from the dark maybe, you know, style, because this is dripping a little bit lower because it's coming from the top. So you want to take the time to mask it well, because that's what's going to make this design amazing. But this is kind of how you do it. I don't want to get too into it. Again, we can do the same thing here. Kind of mask. Press the select tool and mask some of the areas, and then just go back to this one and kind of like paint on it, right? And then you can blend it a little bit more here. Again, it's going to take more time for you to mask things and be intentionally about your masking than actually creating the effect, because the effect is pretty simple. Yeah, but this is the effect. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Val. This is you're from Brazil. That's cool, Val. The south part of Brazil. Welcome in. I mean, I know you've been in the chat for a little bit, but happy to have you here. Oh, that's Baldir. Baldir is your name. I'm so bad at reading and bad at saying names, so I'm sorry about that. This is such a nostalgic treat. Haven't used Photoshop for a while now. Hey, you gotta get back into it. You gotta get back into it for the sake of like just enjoying, having a good time. Sometimes creating things should be a priority for a lot of people's lives, you know. This is what I'm hoping for the future of AI and humanity. And hear me out. This is a crazy thought that I had, but if it happens, that'll be amazing. What if art and creating stuff like this doesn't have to be, you know, tied up to money at all in the future? And let's say AI develops so much that we're able to like not have the need for money as much because a lot of the necessities and things are resolved. And then art becomes truly a form of expressing yourself, detached from the necessity of having to make a living out of it. That would be amazing. I think that would be really cool. And, you know, for that reason alone, I think you should get back into Photoshop and just for fun, just creating for fun. Okay, so that's it. This is the first effect. It's pretty simple. You can also do it with images like this. I think it would be really cool to do it with an image like this car, for example. In this case, we'll have to kind of like cheat a little bit and like, because I want it to be at an angle, kind of like that, right? Remember, that's the only problem with this effect, is that it runs like this, right? So if I want the flames to go up in that way, I would kind of have to do this, right, to the image. So again, duplicating the image, going into it, and just clicking wind, and it's going to do this beautiful thing to it. It looks pretty cool. I'm sure you've seen something like this on the internet before. We're going to get back to the right orientation. And then in this case, we can even go ahead and select click on this, select color range maybe. And with color range, we can go into sample color. Look at that. And we can select now a few of the things and mask those. Boom, and look at that. Just like that, we got an amazing poster done. I'm sure you've seen some of these stuff around. People call me worse things, or oh, I'm sorry, Valdir. Valdir on Behance is saying that people have called him worse names than the one that I was calling him. I was calling you Vladimir. That's funny. I'm sorry. My name is Magdiel, and people get my name wrong all the time. I go to coffee shops and they get it wrong all the time. So I always say a different name. I say Mike. But yeah, this is how you create this effect. You're welcome. I want to say your name again. I want to say your name. Sush. This is funny that I cannot say your name. Surashi, right? Okay, Surashi. You're welcome. Hopefully that's how you say your name. Okay, you guys like this one? Cool. So this effect is pretty cool. Feel free to like play with it. You can, this way that I did the selection here, because this image had a lot of highlights and shadows, it's really easy to do this effect. Imagine doing like a person like this with lights behind it and then doing this effect to the lights. I feel like it could be really, really cool. Not sushi. No, I did not say sushi. Oh my gosh, you're giving me a hard time now. Okay, that's great. Love for you too. Love for you too. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next effect. The next effect is the motion blur effect. You all know how to do this effect. I know it. I'm not teaching you anything new, but I want to teach you kind of how I play with it and some things that you can do to next level it. And then we can kind of see how we can, take it to the next level. What's up, Patrick? Welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. Okay, you guys are feel free to roast me all you want. It's funny. It's funny. People don't get my name right, and I don't feel pressure because I'm like, people don't know my name anyway. So I don't feel. This happened to me my whole life. I felt like it's been an excuse for me to not know people's names or like learn them, and now it's just biting me in the rear while I do a live because I'm not able to read people's names of the chat. But I love you guys, and I'm happy that you guys are here. Okay, moving on to motion blur effect, specifically inside of like posters or like trying to create striking images. I have a couple images here. I have this one, and what was the other one that I had that I wanted to create with this one? Maybe for you guys that don't know, I normally have a bunch of images that I generate that I have on my computer for lives like this or anything else that I want to use them for. Or my Instagram, I normally post things just for fun most of the time. Let's go with this one right here. I think this would be a good image to to work with. It has a lot of like little like particles, noise, things. So, but it's good. What we're gonna do first, let's go ahead and add some color to it. So the best way to do that, I mean, you can do it with filters and things like that. But normally I like going to the camera raw filter, and we're going to, let's add some, not texture, but maybe, where's the light? Let's add a little bit of light to the image, just slightly, and a tiny bit of contrast. And then we're going to be adding a little bit of color. You gotta be subtle with these things a little bit, not too much. Kind of like that. Okay, and then where's the saturation here? Should be in color, right? Temperature. I've never increased saturation inside of here. Color grading is something that I use a lot inside of this because I like changing some of the colors, shadows, the tones. And this is something that I normally do at the end, but I'm doing it here at the beginning because I want some of those colors to drag as I make the blur effect. Victor, what would be a good way to separate the effect from the picture adding more depth? Drop shadow? I believe you're talking about the last effect we did, right? This one right here. I would not add drop shadow. So I'm against drop shadow like hard. I do not like drop shadow. So I would love to, I think if you create like more filters on this, like let's say you, instead of this selection, you would select, do color range again. What is happening? I clicked on something I should have clicked on. Let's go to select, where is it? Color range again. And let's say you select other colors around here, or a little bit like this. Maybe this one has this other kind of thing, and maybe you can do a color effect specifically for that. I'm gonna do it very lazy right now, but maybe you can play with it like this a little bit more. Maybe you can darken it. You can play a little bit more to add a little bit of like something extra. I think this effect should look natural and like kind of like trick the brain into being something that is pretty normal, right? So you got to be careful with it. I'm getting some questions on Behance. Let me see. Aldir said there is an advantage in having a different name. Once people learn it, it's hard for them to forget it. That's true. I've gotten that, but you also get a lot of people that don't ever get it. But I agree with you. I didn't like it as a kid. I didn't like having a unique name as a kid. Now that I'm an adult, I rock with it. I like it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this effect. We're T-minus 20 minutes. We're right on time. Don't worry. Okay, so first of all, we're going to duplicate the image. We're going to go ahead and remove background again. And now we have this individual up here, right? Floating. Look at that. How easy is it to just click on remove background? That still blows my mind. I don't understand that. I'm glad that tip makes sense to you, Coach. Coach Victor, his name is Coach. We know him as Coach, but his name is Victor. So thank you, Victor. He's on YouTube, for those who are wondering who I'm talking to. Okay, awesome. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing where I make a copy of this and duplicate it. And honestly, this would be even cool on the other effect that we just did, right? The wind effect. How cool would that look? Let me see. Okay, if we do it a bunch of times, it would be cool. Okay, let's not waste our time on this. Okay, let's focus. Okay, now we have our image separated. The first thing that we want to do is that we want to go to the blur gallery. There's a lot of different blurs that you can use. I would, encourage you to kind of use them all and play with it. But we're going to be using path blur right now. It's one of the ones that has a bigger effect because you can control where everything goes, right? I'm getting somebody in the chat saying that, oh, my name is Winter and they still get it wrong. Imagine I got it wrong just now, just calling you something else. That would be funny. Yeah, it's totally, the name thing is something interesting. But Winter's an easy one. They shouldn't get that one wrong. Okay, here with the speed, let's focus again. Here with the speed, you can increase how much blur you get on the image. One of the things that I like to do is click this box right here, because what that does is like it makes it start where your first point is, right? So this is your beginning point. You're gonna have it whatever you want it to be, and then the whole image is going to follow that as you keep it going. I'm sorry, I clicked on spin by accident. I was trying to get the options below that. And then obviously you have this blur shape that you can extend a little bit more and make my computer explode while I do a live. But this is very, I don't know if CPU or whatever, it's very intense on your computer. So be careful out there. I know some of you guys, you gotta be careful with the computers. You gotta save your projects before you do this. I didn't save anything, I'm doing a live, hopefully it doesn't break. Anyways, so, okay, you want to run this like this, kind of. This is still thinking, still doing something. Let me go back a couple times. I'm command Zing a little bit of it. Is it working? I might just click cancel and do it again. Uh-oh. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay, back to a good way to remember. Okay, go back to blur gallery and go to path blur. And there you go. Start here. Let's do it up to here. So let's put this thing over here. Speed is going up. And let's just click center here to do that, what we talked about a second ago. And let's just go ahead and click OK. Look at that. That's looking kind of cool already. It kind of has this look. It would be even cooler if we, duplicate the layer and make it even more of a blur, right? We can put one underneath. Let's put both underneath so you kind of see what that looks like. If you put both underneath, you can get this weird shadow here because it's kicking in some of the normal subject's background. But the ideal would be to do, couple on the bottom, one on top, and then we're going to be masking the one on top a little bit. Jeff, thank you, man. It's good to see you here. I'm glad you're here, man. Finally, you're here too, and we get to meet each other. I would love to have you on Discord. So jump on our Discord, go to the On the Spot channel and submit some designs so we can review it next week. I'm happy to have you here from Brooklyn. Next time I go to New York, I'm gonna reach out to you so we can hang out. It's always cool. Somebody said save. Marsha said save. She screamed save on Behance. I'm sorry, I didn't save. Like, are you talking about my file? Save my file? Well, I never do that. I need to do it. I'll do it in a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and the other thing that we want to do is maybe mask a little bit of this. I don't know if I like the background or not. I'm not sure. But you see, it's starting to look a little bit like what we want it to look like. The other thing that we could do is that we can expand one of these. I feel like that would be good. So let me, on the last one, I'm going to go into the effect again, the blur effect. And let's do a path again on this one. And then I want to extend it from here. So remember, now we are extending what we already extended before. And we're going to do the same thing. Click center so we can drag it. And let's taper it a little bit more. Because you see how the one that we did before kind of ends abruptly here. That was a mistake. We should have clicked on taper. So you extend the taper a little bit more. And you extend the selection more. One of the biggest things that normally happens with quote unquote beginners or people that don't design all the time is that they think that one effect is very straightforward and they just do it one time and it's done. When in reality, people that do a lot of graphic design understand that to get something right, you got to do layers on layers on layers on layers of the same thing. And you got to play with things a lot more than just calling it once and it's done. I'm liking how this is looking. It's obviously missing kind of like this special sauce. I picked this image that's a little bit dark, probably not the best image for this. I'm gonna convert this to a smart object. And then the next thing that we want to do is that we want to let's add a curves effect and mess with this image a little bit more. So, adding a little bit of this is good. Maybe we make it more dramatic. Maybe like this. I wish we had a little bit more in front of the image. Maybe this darker image wasn't the best example. It doesn't even come through. I don't know if you guys get it on the stream the right way. Let me go ahead and go back. On second thought, let's keep it separated, and let's apply the effects individually, right? So let's apply the effect right here. Marsha said, yes, save your file. I'm going to. I should probably save it, right? Because then that file, I'm probably going to want to post it sometime soon. I'm going to listen to you and save it. But just know this, if the live stream goes down, that's way more important than saving that file. So I feel more nervous about that. But I'll listen to you. I'll leave it open right there and I'll save it in a second. Thank you for the reminder though. This week I was doing a project that was really big, and there was a time where I didn't save the thing and my computer started acting up, and I thought, man, this is the end. Because if that project had like failed, it was like a day before the delivery, there's no way I would have been able to do the whole thing again. It would have been bad. Okay, so I want to kind of like delete a little bit here of this shoe. So I'm going back into the top layer that's on top of everything. And I want to create a little bit more like, okay, this is going, so that makes sense? Like almost like this shoe is doing this thing and it's going behind the other shoe. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Maybe having two of these is not such a good idea. Yeah, it's looking somewhat good. So it's all about, this effect is all about like what you keep and what you delete, right? You can try gradient map. Let's try gradient map. Let's see what that looks like. Sometimes gradient map works great. Sometimes it kind of makes things too flat, because remember here, as we are adding these curves to it, we're breaking everything down on the, like if we do the other effect, like I'll show it to you real quick. The gradient map, what it will do is that I will make it two tones, which is cool, but it's only two tones, right? I mean, you can add more tones, obviously, and that would be interesting, but it's a lot harder, in my opinion, to get a lot more colors from it. So you definitely, like, I feel like this would be, although it's less controlled, it's a little bit better for like getting a more interesting result, right? And then the other thing that you could do that I forgot to mention is that obviously you make this like, you know, a different color, blending mode, I mean, like vivid color. And then you can mess with the one in the background a little bit more. Yeah, you can do so much with this effect. It's just about, remember, it's about the layering. It's about the, like how much you can stretch the effect to fit what you're doing, right? And that's already looking cool. I kind of like this. We can merge it all. Let's go ahead and convert it to Smart Object. And let's just put it through real quick through Camera Raw Filter. We only have like 5 minutes and I have another effect to show you guys. So there's no way we're gonna make time for it. Yeah, gradient map is a good idea. Just keep in mind, it just makes two colors and we wanna make it more than that, right? We wanted to, in this case, we wanted to make it multiple colors. You can add them to the gradient map, but it's harder because it's all based on black and white, right? And the values of black between black and white. And I like this poster a lot. I think it looks super cool. We can stretch it more like this. I kind of like the red tones, red and red. That's looking cool. Let's click OK on that. And boom, look at that. We have like a dreamy looking poster, album cover, whatever we want to do. Okay, and let's running. I'm gonna go to the last effect. We're gonna do this in like 3 minutes. And this effect, you know what it is already, so I don't even need to do a lot of it. I'm just going to show you real quick. I wanna, again, remove background from the layer on top. And then the next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our filter, and this is why my computer might break, but we're towards the end of the stream, so I left it like this. Okay, press RGB. What is this? What's happening? Oh, okay. I know what's happening. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did it on the mask. I'm going to go ahead and delete the mask, and then let's go liquefied. Click on liquefied. One of the most simple effects that you could do. I feel like this is the kids effect on Photoshop. At least it was for me, because I used to like, you know, seeing what my face looked like when I stretched it or like whatever. So on here, you can be very rude with the photo, like pressure all the way up. And then let's just stretch a lot this photo, right? Stretch the face a lot. This liquefied effect, I'm gonna show you how to make it in a cool way right now. So you want to stretch everything. You can even stretch the eyes, doesn't matter. Look at that. I'm telling you, this is for kids. This effect is for kids. I'm teaching my kids how to do Photoshop and a little bit. We're hanging out, doing a little bit of Photoshop. And I forgot to show them this effect, but once I do, I know they're gonna be hooked forever, like I am. Okay, so we're going to be stretching this. I know this doesn't look good. If somebody's tuning in right now, they're like, oh, let me see what Magdiel is doing over there. What is he showing? He comes on, he sees me doing this crap. He's like, what the heck is this? But I promise, it's going to look good in a second. It's going to look good in a second. Cody is laughing at me. All right, so we have this kind of distortion that looks really bad. Obviously, what we want is this kind of like a break here on these pixels, right? We want it to be dramatic, because what we're doing next is that we're pressing Option as we click again, and what happens, take a look at this, is that it reverts what you did before. As you press Option, you're going to be using the same tool to now revert the effect. And the lower it is on your pressure, the better is going to work, right? So if you lower the pressure and you're very patient and you're clicking through it, you're going to be bringing back the face, but it's going to be kind of like gluing that, but at the same time slowly like showing what you did at the same time. So I want to revert the nose, revert this. I want the model to still look good, her face to look good, but I still want to keep some of this. So I'm pressing Option and I'm clicking. The smaller your pressure is, the more time you have, the better this effect is going to look, because you can like really take your time to make these little holes like this. This looks pretty sick already. So, you know, for those of you guys that were judging me, got you. I got you. Okay, so perfect. Look at that. We're reverting a little bit the effect. It's looking cool. It's looking very interesting. It's looking, you know, pretty dope, to be honest. And it's so easy to make. We made this in what, 2 minutes? Literally 2 minutes. I'm about to end stream shortly. We're going to Adobe Live has a lot of other shows coming up. I want you to stay for them. I want you to watch them. But don't forget to go to our Discord, and I want to make sure that you send some designs for next week for me to review. And next week I'm going to be bringing back everybody's favorite series, the style wheel. So pray for me, because I do not, last week I did 2 weeks ago we did the style wheel live on the show, and it was kind of crazy. I got a crazy style that I had to do. If you haven't seen that video, go find it. It's pretty fun. But I'm doing a style, I'm deleting that style from the style wheel because I'm not doing that style again. And I'm doing a new style next week. So look at that. The eye looks like it's like breaking as it goes away. This is what you want. This is an interesting poster. You see that? How cool is this? And then imagine taking the time to do it in multiple places around the face. This is next level style wheel. Yes, excited for the style wheel. You find it interesting how you can create, how it creates a second eye. Yeah, because it's like stretching and then going back, but it's like doing something interesting here. So it's worth taking a look at this effect. When I click OK on it, look at that. It's already looking pretty sick. We do a crop on this. I'm telling you, this is a post on Instagram. Guaranteed bunch of likes. Your friends are gonna be like, oh my God, this is so amazing. How did you make this? I'm telling you, this is where you find it, here on the spot every week. And you know, it's just having fun doing this poster. We created this other poster as well that I'm going to probably be sharing on my Instagram. We have this one too with the car. That was pretty good in this effect. And the other one, did I close the other one? Probably did. Did I? Oh no, and this one right here. So we did these 3 effects. We're doing the style wheel next week. I'm spinning the wheel, whatever it lands on is what we do. I don't know what it's going to be. You don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something amazing. And then hopefully we can, you guys can do the same thing, right? Spin the wheel. Let me see. I'm gonna post this again on the community chat, and you'll see all these styles. Check it out. I'm gonna be clicking like this next week, whatever lands on. We look at the style, we learn something together from the style, and then we try to execute a poster, right? Hopefully it's not graffiti or tenebrism. Look, it almost landed on tenebrism again. This is insane. All right, love you guys. It's great to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the love. I'll see you guys on Discord, okay? Don't disappear from me. Thank you for everything. Motion blurs for the first one, says Marcia. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the love on the chat. Thank you, all the new friends. I'm sorry about saying your names wrong. Stick around for the next show here in Adobe, and I'll see you.